more dirt. Try to use the sandpaper action of that dirt against that trap and get off as much of that blood and saliva in between the jaws too if necessary. And then look at the trap, inspect it for bends, wear, for popped out jaws, kinks in the chain, anything like this. If there's ever a question that your trap's too dirty or bent up too bad to use, change it. Pull it out and put another one in. Also, check the stake. A lot of times your coyotes really work the stakes hard. Give a good pull on there. Make darn sure that that stake's not going to come out. If the stake's loose, cross stake it. Just put another stake right in there. Boom, you got her. Once we've got the trap checked for dirt, saliva, blood, and we've made sure that it's good enough to use and the stake's in good shape, we want to kind of try to find where our trap bed was. Remember, in our sets, the stake is at 6 o'clock. We find the stake. That's what our loose jaw was resting on when we originally made the set. So we know the loose dirt in front is probably where the trap bed is. Now, when we talked before about making sets, straight sides and a flat bottom make the best trap beds. Well, in a remake set, everything's tore up and dished out. Pretty hard to do that. So we're going to have to make absolutely sure we pack the trap in as best we can in a remake set. Now, you see me walking back from the truck with my antifreeze. This is calcium chloride flakes here. Remakes are the best time to antifreeze. Now, this is a proven set. We've taken an animal in it. We've got it in an area where there's a lot of animals around. I personally don't remake all my sets when season opens. I just get them out. And then as I make catches, I antifreeze on the remake. I antifreeze those sets that are really working well, that are catching animals for me. So I'm not wasting antifreeze or my time, especially my time, antifreezing sets that don't need to be antifreezed, that I'm probably maybe not going to catch in anyway for one reason or another. But when they catch, I know they're proven, and I'm going to get antifreeze in them. Of course, that wouldn't hold true if it was December 15th or January and it was cold already and you had to have antifreeze for each set. We're talking about getting as many traps out at the beginning of the season as possible using this type of method. Once we get our trap bed kind of at least located, we want to set our trap. Now, this is a number 3 coil here, coyote size. We're down here in some serious coyote country. I'm going to get that trap pan adjusted. Then I'm going to check my trap bed to make sure it's scooped out good enough. Kind of lay my trap down in right here. Once we know our trap fits down in that bed, we need to get some antifreeze in there. Now, a lot of guys say, well, why don't you mix your dirt and your antifreeze together at home? Well, I found that if you do that, you never know what you got when you get out in the field. Now, I'm going to put in some dirt over top. I like to layer it in at the set. I found that you really know what you've got there. You know you've got antifreeze dirt, and there's not going to freeze into any clumps. Then I'm going to move some of this catch dirt back around in here. Just start moving it in and around that trap, not packing anything in. We're just moving dirt around there. Then I'm going to go back and go around with the calcium chloride. Remember, calcium chloride is a salt-type product that rusts your traps. Next, we'll hold the trap like we did before and pack between the jaws. We're packing that calcium chloride right in with that dirt so we know what we have. Hold the trap in place and pack with the other. Remember, this is all catch dirt. If this had rained and was wet, if we could find enough dry dirt or enough moist dirt that it had the catch smell to save, we could use out of our bucket dry dirt all around the trap and then ice the cake with the catch dirt, and then we'd be okay. But if this was a muddy mess, we couldn't use any catch dirt, we'd better off to pull the trap and put a new set in elsewhere. If you don't, you get what's called a donut effect. You get smelly mud, and you get clean dirt with a smelly trap inside, so it's like a donut. This clean hole with the trap inside, the fox and coyotes will find it every time. Check for tip or wobble, just like we did before. Go with our pan cover over the top. Get some catch dirt out here, just a light covering of catch dirt. We can go with our calcium over the set. To put my lure and bait on to hide them in around, I'm getting some focal point eye attraction here. Also, I'm going to want my jaw guard, and a lot of times you'll have droppings on a remake set, or you can use dirt clods like I always do. Put it back here, guarding that jaw in the same manner. Now for some of the tricks that really make a remake set really work for you. The first one is to take and actually lower some of this remake circle down on our 45 approaches. Remember when we talked about making the set, we talked about the 45 approaches? Really lower that trails in there. Maybe put another trail in. Maybe you think the fox or coyote may come from this direction, put another lower trail in right here, off the circle. So we've got a couple ways they can work into here. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to rough up everything else so that we've got some low places going through here, almost some trails. Then we're going to take calcium chloride and run the trails. To me, this is a key because we don't have just a wet spot over the trap. We've got wet trails running in here. If a fox or coyote detects that wet soil or wonders about it, he may dig out here, 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 and not find a trap, and then work our attractors and get caught. Also, this ground has that firmness we talked about. You get that frozen conditions, it's like concrete out there, and then when you get over the trap, it's thawed out, soft. They may dig you up. If we can keep all these trails coming in soft, we'll be in a lot better shape. Okay, we'll get some of the catch dirt. Remember, catch dirt we want, very important, that smelly dirt. And now I'm just going to sift all the way across these trails. Make sure that everywhere but the trails is rough, and then the trails are nice and smooth all the way in.